Hi brother, so the machine's almost finished, and we will run the final test tomorrow, and now I will explain to you about the function of each machine. So first we have the bottle loading machine, which is send the bottles into the conveyor, and then we have the single nozzles filling machine. And for the single nozzle filling machine, we provide you this material feeder. This is for free. Usually we will charge this for $800, but this is our first business, so we will offer you for free and wish a long time cooperation with you. So when you want to use this automatic feeding system, this is the material inlet pipe connected with your storage tank, and then when the hopper gets empty, we have this level sensor which we will install into the hopper later. So when the sensor senses the hopper is getting empty, it will automatically transfer material from your storage tank into the hopper. So we have a filling machine and the automatic feeding pump and the two tables. These two tables you can use it for cap loading. And then we have this capping machine, and after capping, all the bottles or jars will go pass by this clamping conveyor to the labeling machine, and you can place the inkjet printer behind the machine, and then it will print from the bottom. And so we have a labeling machine here. For the labeling machine, we got two labeling stations. So you have two kinds of label. So you can put one here, another here. So this one will label the first one label and then second label. For the inkjet printer, we will show you later when we send you the final testing video. Now we haven't installed here because we are going to send you a brand new machine with if we test the machine now, the machine will have an ink inside, so we may have some problem for export. But so we are going to use our old machine to do the test and then give you a brand new machine. So and when the inkjet printer arrive in Indonesia, the local agent will visit you and teach you how to use it, and also test it for you, and you can install the inkjet printer behind this clamping machine. So let me explain to you how to use each machine now. So for this bottle or jar loading machine, for different size of the jar or bottles, you can adjust their diameter by losing these screws, move it forward or back, so the diameter here change, right? For different size of bottle and the jar, and also here. But remember, if you are using very less bottles or jars, then this may not work. It has to be at least half. It must be filled with half of the bottles, then it can work. And then the bottles will go to the conveyor, and when you arrive this filling station, the sensor sends the jar, and then you will the filling nozzle will do the filling. And for different size of the bottles, you will need to adjust this position of this piston to the left or right. So for this diameter, we adjust it like this, right? So when the diameter is bigger than this jar, you will have to move this piston a bit to the right. So make sure this distance can fit the diameter of the container. And for different height of the container, you can lose these two bolts to move them up. So for example, if you are using a tall bottles and with such short piston setting and also this rail setting, the bottles may fall down. So you have to move everything upper by losing these screws, and also these screws, move them up. And also remember, this is the sensor of the of the sensor for the filling system. So for filling different height of the bottle, you also have to move it up and down. So by losing this screw, then you can move it up down. You can also move it by this one as well, but usually we will just move this one. And so we have the hopper with the automatic feeding system, which I already explained to you. And now we have this Plc Touch Screen. You can choose languages here. And this home page for language, output state shows the machine working state, filling parameter, and lifting down delay means the machine has a lifting filling system. So when you are using the tall bottles, or when you are filling some product that is easy foaming, you will have to use the lifting system. So the nozzle will go up and down. Let me show you. See, it's going up and down. So let's go back to the parameter. Here. This output state, input state, filling parameter, and lifting down delay means after the sensor sends the bottle, when the bottle is passing through, when sensor sends the bottle, filling nozzle will go down after 0.5 seconds. And filling delay is also the same. You will start to do filling after the sensor sends the containers and after 0.5 seconds. The drips delay, let me check the Chinese so I can understand it better. 滴漏延时是什么？
滴漏延时就是它灌完了之后停的那个时间。
我知道了。Okay. Let me change it back to English. So drips delay means after filling, the filling nozzle will stay for 0.5 seconds. So to avoid the drippings, and block bottle delay, now it is 0. So which is for this system, after filling, it will immediately lose the bottle and let it go. But if you set the delay for this blocking, after filling, you will still blocking the bottles for a while. So we have the filling volume here. You can adjust the filling volume you want, input the filling volume you want directly here. And the filling speed A means for example, if the product you are filling is 15 milliliter, so and I set filling volume B is 5 milliliter, so that means filling volume A is 10. So when it's filling the first 10 milliliter, it will fill with the speed 80 RPM, and then when it's filling the rest 5 milliliter, it will fill with a slower speed, which is 15 RPM. So usually we use it for foaming products. So for foaming products, when you are filling if you fill the product with high speed all the time, when it's full, product might flow, might come out. So you can adjust speed here. But if you are filling cream, you can adjust both speed with high speed, because cream is viscous and they are not easy foaming. But usually we will adjust A a little bit faster than B. So, and as for filling return speed, you don't have to adjust it. This is preset. And okay, so we have the parameters introduced. Then this alarm screen, and when the machine has any problem, it will alarm. And this menu screen, which you can adjust each function separately. When you need to adjust the machine, you can use this one. So, for example, if I press conveyor, then the conveyor moves. And when I press block bottles, see, this is coming out. Block bottle. And lifting nozzle, look, lift, and filling and add liquid. Add liquid means the conveyor the hopper material feeding, then automatic washing, and then servo reset. Servo reset means the filling piston reset. So usually after you fill your product, if your product is not difficult to clean, you can just fill some water into the hopper and then turn on the washing system. It will continually pumping products out until the system is clean. So, but this is only suitable for some product that is easy to clean. But if you are going to fill some very viscous, sticky product, and then you might have to disassemble the hopper and the nozzle for washing. Then auto screen. And for auto screen, we have automatic start. So, which means when we press this system, the machine will start to work automatically. But before we start it, you have to turn on the conveyor, filling, and also add liquid. This is for material feeding of hopper. Then you press this one to auto start. And lift enable, when you are using jar, turn this on too. Because when you are filling jar, the jar is not easy foaming product, so you don't have to use the lifting system. But when you are filling tall bottles with thin liquid that is easy foaming, you have to turn this on, turn this off, the lift enable, turn it off, and counter reset. And when you press this auto start, then the machine will start to work automatically. It means when bottles passing by the sensor, it will sense the bottle and do the work automatically. And remember, all these rail, you can adjust them taller for the taller bottles. And this piston is the same like the filling system. It is a bottle separator to separate the bottle. In case bottles coming out from the filling system, and then all the bottles might stay too close, then it will affect the capping system. So usually we'll use it to separate the bottles to avoid them all stay together like this, stay too close. So if the bottle separator will make them like this, so the capping can work better. And also it's the same, the speed of this blocking can be adjusted here. If you lose the screw, the two screw, the speed will become faster. Then if you tighten them, the speed becomes slower. It's the same like the filling machine. And then we got this capping. So this is show the produced amount, and then clamping delays, capping delays. The clamping delays means this system which will hold the bottles. You can refer to the working video. So after the sensor, we have a sensor here, right? The one that is has the red light. When you sense the bottle, it will start to clamp the bottles after 0.3 seconds, and start the capping, which is this one, will screw the cap. Also, after sensor sense the container, it will start to work after 0.3 seconds. And the capping time and the separate bottles delay, which is also this one, has the sensor. When you sense the bottles, it will start to separate the bottles after 1 second. So all this delay you can adjust here, or if you don't want to adjust in here, you can also do it by moving the sensor. For example, if I want the bottle separator to start to work earlier, I can move the sensor to the left. If I want it delayed, move it to the right. So you have two ways to adjust it. And then we have this clamping system. For the clamping system, it's quite a simple machine. All you have to do is to screw this one to adjust this distance for different diameter of containers. So you can see here. So the bottom, so you can print the jar from its bottom from here. And then we have this labeling machine. The labeling machine also have a separator, but it's a different kind like this. When bottles passing by, if the bottles moving speed will become slower here, so all the bottles will be separated here. And the speed of this separator is adjusted by this knob. And for the labeling for the label installation, we have a drawing here. You can follow the drawing to install your label, or you can refer to the label that we already have on the machine. And if also, when you want to put your label upper or lower, you can adjust it, this label position. If you can move it upper, then you have to move all this upper. Like this, you move it upper, so the label will be here. Then you can put the labels on a taller position. And for your jar, the jar is a little bit tapered, so we made a special mold for it. Look, this is for regular round bottles mold, and if I use it for your jar, you can see that there's a gap between them, right? So we make a special mold for you. You see this mold, the shape of this mold is different. It is customized to fit your container. So when you are using jar, you have to change it to this mold. And when you are using round bottle, use this regular mold. And also you have to change this one for the jar too. We offer you 3 sets of mold totally. And remember, this shortest mold is for the jar. And then the other 2 is for these 2 round bottles. Now this one that we're installing on the machine is for the round bottle, not for the jar. And so remember, you have to change the mold for different shape of the bottles. And also, you can adjust this mold taller by screwing this. Look, if I screw it, you can adjust it taller and shorter. So why do we need to adjust this? Because the height of the mold is different. So so when you install this one, you have to adjust this whole part upper, and also you can adjust this mold forward and the back by this wheel for different diameter of bottles. So you have to make sure when the bottles is working, see, when it's working, it can clamp the bottles tight enough, so you can adjust by here. And then for the rail, you can adjust this using these 2 bolts to move the rail for different diameter of bottles too. And this one is the same. The only difference is it has a sensor here. The sensor will sense the first label. Let me find your container. So as mentioned before, you will put 2 labels on the jar, right? One on here, one here. So to avoid the labels, they were placed together. They cover each other. So we make a sensor that can sense the another label, and then when you sense the another label, it will make sure that the second label will put on the opposite side. So this is the only difference. So therefore, here you will see the difference. This is for the first label station, second label station, everything is same. Only difference is the fixed mode. This one is on, this one is off, because only the second station need to orient the label. So that is why. And when you are using auto mode, turn on all these dark blue functions, and this off for the first station. And on the right, we have this test. So this is for manual mode. You can operate each function manually, like this. If I press clip, right, and roll bottles. When you clip, then you roll, spinning. And for code, the machine is not installed. We didn't install the machine with code printer, so this just ignore it because you already have an inkjet printer. For the receipt, we already preset the receipt for you, and if you want to adjust it, you can change the receipt directly, or you can just make a new receipt for yourself. For example, I have a date 1. Date 1, remember, is for the jar, for this one. And data 2 is for the round tall bottles. And if you want a new receipt, just create here. And then you can input the receipt you want. So all this is preset. Usually, if your label doesn't, after you receive the machine, you can run a test. If your label has wrinkle or if it comes out too fast, just let us know. We will tell you which one you need to change.